Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're looking at this article here from PC Gamer. The other day I had done a quick video on the new release of the game called The Day Before. And a lot of the reviews were the day before the scam, or this game is a scam game. The developers wanted $40 for the game, and there was no way on this side of God's green earth that I was going to spend $40 for something that was so negatively reviewed only after a few hours after it had released. You know what I mean? And then while we were doing the video, we were noticing that reviews were being deleted. Now, I guess a developer couldn't delete those. Somebody let me know that Steam sometimes deletes those because they think the reviewers are bots. I don't know. I mean, how is it that a bot's going to buy a legal copy of the game and then just to post a nasty review? I guess maybe people do that. I know I have a friend that used to do that, buy the game knowing he wasn't even going to play it, to give it a bad review and then just refund it. I mean, with the no question asked refund policy of Steam, for if you play less than 2 hours, you can do that. But I mean, that didn't seem to be the fact with this game. It seemed like they were legitimate reviews being deleted off their platform. Well, guess what, folks? This article right here that was released 6 hours ago basically says just 4 days after launch, the game developer is closing its doors because of the game had flopped. And the day before has failed financially, and we lack the funds to continue. Well, when you promise one thing and you spend all this time, all these months and months and months, just spoon feeding us the same promises, the same videos, and saying that this is going to get done, and then when your game is released and it's nothing like you promised, and then you yourself go on your platform and delete the videos and the pictures that related to the MMO part of your game. That was the thing, is it ended up being like a extraction shooter, and it was like it had nothing to do with being an MMO, and the game company removed that stuff off their site. So of course people were going to be asking for refunds, and based on the reviews that people posted, it did not look good for this company. So they claim we invested all our efforts, resources, and man hours in developing The Day Before, which was our first huge game. We really wanted to release new patches to reveal the full potential of the game, but unfortunately, we don't have the funding to continue the work. Of course you don't have the funding. I mean, you released a game. I mean, it's almost as, I guess the simple part of it is, if I told you I was charging you $1 for an apple, and you know what an apple is, and when you give me the dollar, I hand you an orange, and you hate oranges, there's a problem there. You're going to ask for your dollar back, and you're going to get back the orange, right? I mean, that's how simple it is here, folks. They delivered something that was, and then people defended them, saying, look, give them some time to add the MMO part. It's like, well, no, not for $40 damn of US currency to wait. That's like somebody selling you the Pac-Man game, and you're paying $40 for Pac-Man, and they didn't put the ghosts in. So you're just running around as Pac-Man, eating dots all day, and you got nothing to run away from. I mean, that's how bad this was. It's like, okay, you're not going to accept that. After an extended period of hype and deep criticism surviving The Day Before, that it saw it temporarily removed from Steam over a trademark dispute, it finally launched on Steam on September 7th and immediately ran into trouble. Server issues were widespread, but players were also surprised to discover that it wasn't quite the zombie-infested survival MMO that they were expecting. Instead, it bore a number of characteristics of an extraction shooter similar to Escape Tarkov, except not very good. The reaction was immediate and intense. The Steam rating crashed to mostly negative, and the official Day Before Discord was temporarily locked down as moderators struggled to keep up with all the people that were upset. There was promises of patches. They were going to try to fix this thing, and obviously No, I mean, not if you. There are obviously people that still paid the $40. I'd like to know where that $40 went to, because there are people today, if I look at their reviews, they haven't refunded the product and they're past the 3 hour mark. So this developer obviously made money. So for them to come and say, I'm closing our doors because we're not financially secured, well, they had to have made a shitload of money. They had to have. Because there's a lot of people, there's at least, at one point, there was like 2,200 reviews, and most of those reviews were past the 2 hour mark. So that's at least $40 times that, right? So my guess is maybe this was just a scam all along. Say, oh, we released dog shit. We took you $40 with promises that we're going to patch it so you played beyond the 2 hour mark. And then wink, wink, we can't financially support ourselves anymore, and we're taking our ball and going home. And that's what it really comes out to Tarkus is, I think that's what really happened here, is they basically turned up the bullshit meter 100%. So those people played past the 2 hour mark, hoping that they were going to get something. And then this company is just closing the doors. It reminds me of like Medicare scamming. I mean, that's how bad this reminds me of that. So just go, if you can, I'll post this article in the comments below, and you can read it for yourself. The state of the day before led a widespread interest in refunds. One message posted that the day before subreddit said Steam was accepting refund requests even from players who had gone beyond the 2 hour playing time limit. Okay, all right, so Tarkus, okay, didn't know that until I just read it there. So it looks like Steam is at least going to help people so that these people don't run away with the $40, because that's what that would be my biggest problem is the fact that some people really defended this game on the reviews and on the forum saying, look, I paid my $40, I'm going to wait and see, and I didn't get a refund because of the promises that they made. And that's $40 per person. That adds up. Okay, so 46% of the copies that had been sold on Steam had been refunded. So that means over 50% of those copies were not refunded. All right, here we go. So these are the numbers here. Lifetime Steam units. Wow. That's still 1,000 copies there that weren't refunded, if I'm reading this right, at $40 a pop. I mean, talk about take your money and run with it. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm so glad that Tarkus did not. I mean, I saw the writing on the wall, folks. I saw the writing on the wall that this thing was a dumpster fire by just reading the reviews. And when I did my video the other day, there were actually people that commented that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, and that, you know, I was crapping on a game that I hadn't even bought yet. And it's like, dude, I've been in the gaming area of this kind of nonsense for at least 20 years. And I don't need to have bought a game and played a game to tell you, based on other people's viewpoints, that it was going to be a piece of shit. So here we are, folks. This is probably my last video on the day before. I thought my other video was going to be my last video, but I had to do this article and show you what was going on. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. And this has been the Tarkus Zone.